78 to 80 something. Man, crazy stuff there. We do have I know Tommy just put up, they had a 77-point game as our first game, they had an 86-point game as our second game. So right now, chat, they are up on top. Choco Taco had an 80-point game and then a 35-point game. They're in second place. A few of the teams are not reporting their scores, so that's why they are not currently showing up on the leaderboard. So if you're just not seeing your team up on the spot where you want to see them, and you're wanting to see an update on the scoreboard, check the Twitch Rivals extension. It is, let me just double check here. It's over on that side of the screen if you're on PC, and it's in like the top right corner of your chat window. Right corner's that way. If you're on mobile, and if you pull up the list of the participants, the score that's next to their names, that is their currently recorded score. So you can kind of check an update on the leaderboard via that extension. Chat, we couldn't do this without the support of our partners. Big shout outs to the U.S. Army. Join millions of experts in their fields. What's your warrior? And also Mountain Dew Game Fuel. Game Fuel includes ingredients shown to improve accuracy and alertness, along with a no-slip grip and a resealable lid. You can learn more at gamefuel.com. Chat, we're going to take a quick break. We'll leave you with some of the streamers while we step away. We'll be right back on Twitch Rivals.
I'm trying. Let's roll.
And parking garage.
I'm going in hot towards West Spa. If you went on.
Yep.
There's one right in front of us going to dealership. Close west. Let's cross the road now. One shoot me from the left.
Close left, yep.
Bounty target identified. You're clear to engage.
In the field near the tower. Green.
This is Falcon 0.
Cracked one.
Knocked him.
Okay, nice.
Take the res.
I am getting the res.
Team is still on.
All right, all
Nice.
dead. Now we got the bounty boys.
Yep. I'm gonna swing high ground. Hey, they might be running. Yeah, I think they're running.
One guy is above us, so.
He's going mid right now. Down low, mid.
Down low, you said?
Yeah, he's going down low, mid.
Yep, 30 meters. He's directly under me right now.
Guess he just kept running towards bounty.
I think so.
There's a full team.
5 mark.
Cracks. Pushing towards him. They're just holding down in here.
I'm pushing out like by the plane.
Down one.
Knocked one.
Man,
Down another.
Nice. It's, I think pretty dead.
Yep.
We'll maybe work this by for some
I'm gonna go
UAVs.
hit this bounty over here.
Yep. There you go, boys. Hey, now we're rolling. Now we're fucking rolling. Let's go. Yo, loadout's gonna be deep 60 too.
Loadout on this team over here. So team over by fire station, and that's them.
I can't get my full kill, son of a bitch.
Got one deep, but he was a solo.
Yeah.
He was shooting across. Still team on.
Get as far right as I can right now.
Yeah.
My left.
And we're back. We're ready to go, chat. I hope you guys are ready for some more action. We couldn't do any of this without the support of our partners. Big shout outs to Doritos. Doritos is that triangle crunch with the big bold flavor, and this year they're taking it to another level as the official partner of Twitch Rivals. Grab some nacho cheese or some Cool Ranch, now with more Cool Ranch flavor, and be sure to follow at Doritos on Twitter and on Instagram. Last but not least, Bud Light is here as a partner now. Be sure to stay tuned for the Game Over with Bud Light, the Twitch Rivals after party, and that'll be on tonight. tonight at twitch.tv/Budlight right after the end of this show. So let's get back into some gameplay, see if we got any more crazy scores, and see if we can find just any streamer not using the Growl. Because that'd be
I
crazy.
doubt it. you're gonna struggle not to find someone using the Growl.
But up there at the top, Tommy right now. As far as teams who are reporting their scores, they're up on top of Team TP with 83 and 71. Just barely leading out Nade Shot's team with 80 and 71. Good to see that team performing well here. And King Richard, a team we didn't even touch on earlier, currently with a 73 and a 64. We'll go jump on board with Tommy, leading up the roster of Scummin and Stay Finessing.
Well, one thing I noticed from... oh, no. Oh, nearly. As this gunfight goes down, I wanted to kind of touch on, I think it was Team Kaylee, which we spoke about. I think they've only reported one game, but that was like an 87 point and Symphony at 90. So they're not at the top of the leaderboards, but they've got the big numbers going forward. They've clearly had a bit of a slower start or a longer game, shall we say. But yeah, Tommy, I was talking about his teammates. I was, none the wiser of who these players are. I'm interested to see what they can really bring to the table.
See this a lot with, not necessarily like unknown players, but players who fall outside of the professional space who are still brilliant at the game and Stay Finessing. He's going to win his Gulag, get themselves back into this one. Relatively early days for this game, and again, the squad's, I think that was 13 kills overall, still 80-something remaining in the lobby, so that ain't bad. That ain't bad at all, but they still have to get themselves well and truly back into this one. Symphony dropped 30 kills. Husker's team with a 73 kill win, apparently. 99 overall. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Should be around the average, in my opinion.
That just got a 74 kill win.
That's a lot.
Team Tommy looking to maybe hit the hot restart here.
That should be easily doable.
Scumming though with a KD of 6.64, not one to be messed with. Over on Team King Richard's squad, I believe Mutex is on this squad along with Clayster of the Dallas Empire. So a real mix of professional, streamer, personality, because Mutex actually was working previously with Dallas Empire a little bit ago, but oh my!
I like that. The express delivery. Multiple sachets of C4 delivered onto that vehicle just to make sure. And again, if that guy has a trophy system, they're both dead. Dude, they are flattened, man. It's a King Richard pancake after that one. Nice shots there from Mutex. Nice controller cam as well. I'd be a little worried about too much crotch in that kind of situation, me personally, but like he's nailing it.
Yeah, Mutex has been doing incredible over the past, I would say, 4 or 5 since the start of Warzone. Really, he's thrived in the environment. He's loving every single second of it.
I'm just imagining where that's like C920 is set up. Extending off the edge of the desk, right down.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, interesting positioning. King Richard saved the squad. Oh, he's leading from the front. Nice re-challenge. That's gonna be the kill. Cash money as well. Look how much money they've got. Clayster still has his Gulag, so he can come back. But Mutex, get back on your feet, soldier.
They're just gonna fucking keep doing it.
Yeah, go to the buy.
Plays back, baby.
20K, go to the buy.
Vape Nation.
Let's go to police. Let's go to the
Back.
police.
Only 2 kills, one of those being a Gulag. But hey, 2 other can get back into this, and they've got plenty of cash. 20K for King Richard. Get themselves a loadout. Take care of your boys.
Has anyone done the math on what the maximum number of kills possible in a lobby is?
I mean, technically, you kind of can't really work it out. Because yes, you could say there's, let's say, 150 people, 75, half of them win their Gulag, but the problem is the buybacks. If you get enough cash on your bounties, I can buy Miles back 12 times in a game. That would never happen because Miles is such a superior gamer in every single way. He's fantastic at Warzone. But, yeah, depending on your cash flow, which we just saw $20,000, you can buy your teammates back, 4 times with that?
Yeah, it all
depends. Interesting. It's an interesting question because there's only so much money on the map. There's only so many bounties. There's only so many everything. But what's the record right now? The trios, I believe, is like 113. I might be wrong in saying that, but something wild.
I'm just enjoying Mutex's setup, like between I think it's a squat rack behind him.
Yep.
But I'm definitely thinking, like, how has he set up that camera?
That's a camera on the edge of his desk for sure.
You think so? Like clipped on the edge of the desk, just looking down? That's kind of cool.
Either that or it's clipped onto his belt. I mean, he's only one or the other. There's only either that or it's stuck to the roof with like 17 magnifying glasses.
Just like string holding it down.
3,000.
Right above us.
Okay, one
Yeah, no, it's a good look, man. It's interesting.
Dude, he's just waiting.
Playing
For
Claw.
sure.
red. You want to just go red?
Yeah, shout out Claw players.
We can go red and
Do you guys play Claw?
fly on it. We can actually
I
fly
used
on it.
to.
Listen, I'll fly on it.
Interestingly
You
enough,
fly on
I
it. Let's go red.
I start at the start of every Warzone just playing Claw because I'm button mashing to pick stuff up, but I don't traditionally play Claw in a competitive environment.
You can come res me on
So
Yeah,
I can do both, but I'm definitely
Yeah.
not the best Claw player around. I'll be honest.
this side. Hey, drop down. Don't
I
res,
played
don't
Claw
Claw.
for many years.
res.
Yeah.
Coming, don't res.
Total kills. Mutex number 1, 44.
Dude, that's a
This one right
lot.
here, baby.
TP, he's tied with TP. Crowder only one below them youngsters as well. I mean, look, this is it's so competitive. It's so competitive. This entire tournament, it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Like the amount of players in this game that have already managed to get that many kills, like that's wild. Remember there was a time when you look on Twitter and you'd see like, wow, somebody got 30 kills. That's nuts. Like, no, dude, it just keeps
Yeah.
going up. It just keeps getting crazier and crazier. These results. Oh, Mutex there. We're gonna back out. Try to get themselves back into another one. Cat Gun, Nameless, and Lacefield. Let's go, Nameless. Our co-worker. How are they looking so far?
So far in 13th place with 71 points.
Okay. Respectable so far. Interested to see what they can do. I know Nameless Nameless came into my chat actually last night. He was like, yo, you want to play in Twitch Rivals? I'm looking for one. It's me and Kat. And I was like, bro, I'll see you there, but I can't. I'd love to, but I can't. He was like, why? I was like, just don't ask Miles either, because it ain't gonna happen.
It's not happening, bro.
It was so he's landed with Lacefield, which I will say, much better player, and I'm happy for him. But right now, trying to hunt down someone in Storage Town.
Yeah, they're working together well. You see this like charge forward. They just had a player brought back in front of them, so that's another kill. If that player can arrive in time.
Oh yeah, he did.
Cat Gun charging forward. Again, slight variance in the growl. Everyone has their preferences. Whether you want that extra recoil control, whether you need the recoil control or not, whether you want a laser on there.
She's actually got the Cronin Sniper Elite grip on, which is like additional accuracy on top of everything that is the growl, which is kind of wild. So this thing is a laser beam, but a little slower on that ADS. I do use it though. I'm a big fan.
They're having to chase this player down. That guy's just got a car and now he's going to be dipping. That is the most annoying thing. No bounty.
Nameless usually rages at this point.
There he is.
He's got away.
There's Nameless on your screen.
There's people near airport.
6 kills to his name already. We've had some huge games with Nameless. He can. He's definitely one of those players that can put up very, very large numbers.
What was the game which we played with him? I think he ended with,
27, 26, 27?
Oh, it was more. I think it was 34 or something wild. I think that was his second game, but the one that ended downtown, this guy was 30 plus for sure.
Yeah.
But we've seen some big numbers out of a lot of these streamers. I mean, Lacefield, Miles. When you think Lacefield and Warzone, what do you think of? I know one thing that comes to mind.
I just think of C4s. Like we had a clip of Lacefield taking out an entire squad in a vehicle from a chopper. He throws a C4 and it falls just in the path of this vehicle. Again, the vehicle full of professional players. Absolutely toast them. He also set a brilliant trap. He C4'd a helicopter that he left out in the middle of the woods. He waited by a tree, and Clayster, of all people, climbed in that chopper just before he could take off. Click, boom. It was like an old mafia car. You know, when you get in those, you've got a hit out in your head. You get inside the car, you start the engine, and it blows up. It's just like that, and he managed to pick up the kill. And his team actually went on to win that game. So very, very impressive play nonetheless. Nameless picks up a relatively easy kill. Tries to keep this on running.
And Nameless again, when we played with him, Miles, he is not afraid to go lone wolf. It was an interesting game when we played. It was me and you, kind of brothers in arms, going back to back, bait and switch, and he was like, guys, I'm gonna go and fight this team over at storage. We're like, you do you. We'll try and 2v3 a couple of teams. And
yeah, it's a common strategy. You see players like they go a little quiet, and you look at the minimap, and that arrow is just getting further and further away. Like, and it's a cool thing to do because you open yourself up to a lot more fights. Yeah, if that player goes down, it's like whatever, man. You just let that guy die. Like, I've had games with Crim6 where he does the same thing, and you just sort of let him go, do his thing, while you just make sure that you keep cash flow coming, keep UAVs up, make sure you've got enough money to buy back just in case. Like, it's a completely viable strategy.
Lace is killing it right now. 15 kills. We've, of course, switched POV to him. That's the third of the trio. And they're doing great. You see in the kill feed, I think they've just picked up probably 3 kills there again, but on board with the one, the only nade shot. 7 kills to his name, make it 8, potentially 9. Is that?
If he gets it, he and Tim the Dent Man.
Tim Sam.
I
watched
they
him,
can.
Watched him first ever 20 bomb the other day.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
It was hilarious.
Tim's gonna
Your
get
comedy.
out this live. Crowder now in the gulag. Not a player you want to come up against. Not that that fight was a challenge or even a problem for him, but an easy win for Crowder. Gonna get straight back into the fight. With Nade and Tim waiting for him there in Storage Town. Should be able to get his gear. Get straight back into the mix. And there's a couple of red dots nearby, giving him some trouble, but try to clean those players up ASAP. Oh boy. Oh boy. What a landing this is.
He's landed straight on a frag, but he's got his 2 teammates right next to him. He's trying to find a weapon.
Yeah, that was me.
Tim's a little bit scared by Crowder's actions.
What you at? Nice, dude.
Nade shot cleaning things up.
I need the 5
I'm getting toxic today, boys. Everyone, I don't care if they said anything to me. I'm talking shit. I'm buying armor.
They're getting toxic today, boys. There's 2 mentalities. There's the Greek god, hey, let's just rib on my teammates, keep the vibes good and chill. And there's the let's get toxic.
Let's get the passion. And the fun thing about watching Nade Shot is, when you watch his stream, he's clearly a competitive player. But both myself and Miles, I'm sure you have seen him kind of in his competitive nature a few years back when he was, whether it was part of Optic Gaming, whatever it would be. But we've seen him for so long now out of that. When you put him back into tournament mode and that comes out of him again, that competitive nature, it's so interesting to see that kind of beast awoken, if you like. But certainly a fantastic player, beloved by the COD scene.
There was no update.
I'm not gonna lie. I think the renaissance of tactical shooters with Valorant has also brought out some sincere toxic streaks and otherwise very pleasant streamers.
Yeah, man. It's something about... It's a game where you have to win. You've got to win. It feels personal almost if you lose to anyone. And I've loved playing Valorant, and I believe ranked mode dropped today, so I think I know what I'll be doing tonight. Yes, that'll be me playing The Last of Us 2. Yeah, that's exactly what I'll be doing tonight. I won't be diving into ranked just yet.
Yeah, what is great is we have like a plethora of games, whether The Last of Us, Warzone. We're obviously a big fan of COD and Warzone, but Valorant, you dragged me onto that, Miles. I'm trying to pick up the old mouse and keyboard a little bit more. Kind of suck, but it's kind of fun.
There's a ranked Warzone drop today. I swear it was. Anyway, let me get back to my Twitter feed then, bear. But I'm excited to see how Tim and the boys can keep going here again. Tim, not known for his competitive skills, but boy, he's fun to watch.
No, and I think he's genuinely been getting significantly better as well. I'd say Tim right now is a better shooter than he's ever been.
Agreed. I think it's very easy to overlook the fact usually he's playing with the likes of Symphony or Cloaksy. Like you're playing with some of the best shooters there is. Like you kind of always gonna look like you're pretty poor, but when you put it against everyone else, certainly a good player. I think is that the
no, he did pick up a class using the AMAX there, or the good little to you older Call of Duty fans, but he did not grab it in the end. Stuck to the ground. His MP5 again using the hipfire laser, not one that enemies can see, but frankly I just don't think you should worry about your laser being spotted in Warzone. There's so much going on in the game, and there's a distance at which that laser doesn't really come into your field of view if an opponent has one, for example. So I just say, just screw it. Run the laser. Just run it. It gives you such a benefit to the weapon's handling characteristics and its accuracy. Like just run the laser. Don't be afraid.
I'm with you, Miles. I'm with you. I'm a big fan of the 5mm, the TAC laser. Big fan of all of them.
The 5 megawatt? No, that'd be good though, wouldn't it? I'm never gonna forget that. It's the millis. Oh, landing on me. Nade shot once again. Tasty shots. Fuzzy Wuzzy died.
Got one.
That's exactly what happened.
I think he's got his counter as well as for the day. Looks like he's bagged himself 3, courtesy of his overlay.
I bet there's more people up top, guys. I mean, we know there was
3. Got
3.
12 kills in this one. I think Tim was a little behind. I think he only had 2 or 3. But
I'll push with you guys. All right.
Yeah.
I like this play though. Trying to push together. Somebody in the chat's just asked Wolfgang Killers. Just said obviously the AMAX used more. Look, AMAX is almost. It's just not as good as the Growl right now. Like it's not a bad weapon whatsoever. It hits hard. The recoil is less than the AK-47 is in this game, so it definitely has some application. It has a lot of attachments, which is really fun. It's got the most stocks in game. Which again they provide very varying degrees of stability and movement and all sorts.
My God.
And as we say it, like,
oh my! You ain't doing that.
That's
a Galil.
That's why you run the Growl, dude. That's why you run the Growl. That's why you don't run the AMAX.
Oh no!
Oh,
the storm.
Taken down. One thing I will say is I love the variable, like when there's a conversation for two, whether with the M4 being like a lot quicker aim down sights, that better at that mid range, like the weapon has to have something over the Growl, and right now the Growl is the most accurate. You know, there's no real kind of damage ratio in you look at all the other weapons. Like it's just there's no real category which it is bad at, and that's why everyone uses it. It fits the bill for every fight.
Yeah, it's so well rounded. Even at very, very close range, it's still fine. You don't want to be firing from the hip with especially all the attachments we're using, but the M4 in theory and in application, and it's very specific ranges, it's much better. Up close it's much better, I think, but it's still just so good overall. Like you're not going to, the amount of the percentage of plays you make at mid to long range in Warzone, it's just not worth having anything else. And that's the state of the game right now. And unless there is some kind of nerf to the recoil pattern, maybe at range, maybe to its damage drop off, all things considered, like it's got loads of barrels that increase that, you're not going to see players stop using it. It's just not going to happen. It's the smartest thing to do right now is run an MP5 for those close to mid, and then run a Growl for literally everything else.
Priest actually runs an interesting loadout, and I think I don't want to say he's stuck in his ways, but he just knows what he likes, and he runs the M4 no stock with a knife, and the knife is very much for kind of movement speed.
Yeah.
But every single fight he has is an M4. I think that car's going to run him over. I don't think it did, but I think the Growl came in at the right time. But yeah, keep your eyes out for Priester and that M4. There's a correct standings overall.
Yeah, currently right now, Symphony, the top reported scores, they've put up 2 first place finishes, one for 99 points, the other for 90. 139 kills in 2 games. They are insane.
That is insane. That's a lot of points, man.
Yeah, ahead of Tommy by roughly about 30 points there.
That's a big chunk. Like, you see from second all the way down to, what is it, like 5th? There's 15 points between them roughly, but that jump in first place, that's kind of wild. To jump 26 points, I don't know whether that's because of the reporting or whatever it may be.
No, those are the top 2 games between the two teams. They've dropped 2 90 bombs. I want to point out Team Metaphor down there in 5th place right now with 147. They're the only other team I'm seeing that has dropped a 90-point game or a 90-plus point game. Everyone else in that like 86, 83, 80s, those are their top games. So Metaphor right now with a 92 and a 55, so they have a lot of room for improvement to slowly curate these top 3 games. But that 92 will probably stick for Team Metaphor and could really be a benefit as the show goes on.
Ooh, Huskers absolutely mopped up there. Again, high ground position, not a whole lot you can do. This is what happens in Warzone. I don't care how good you are. Players got high ground like that, they're gonna clean you up. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Indeed. Especially when partnered with the Growl. It's hard. But this is I believe a 34 kill so far. There's only 40-ish players left in the lobby. Symphony trying to win his gulag. Look at the movement. My goodness, he's fast. 16 HP though. He can't take 1 bullet, and he doesn't. Oh my.
My goodness. The bamboozle. They're like, there's no way he's on this corner. I can just run. But he was.
If I saw my opponent was on 16 HP, I'd be running around corners hip firing. I would have probably ended up in the same position that person did too, though.
It's interesting you talked about movement and knives and whatnot. Like, obviously, when you run the knife, you have the highest movement speed you possibly can have outside of not having a weapon. So Sim swapping to his fist here, it literally makes him run faster. They backed out of that game because, again, not expecting to get a much higher kill count than that. But for anyone who has them, the Cali